34-2. The Joker, 36-8-6. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ro. We are right here in Studio B, here to engage, enlighten, and entertain. It is Playoff Central Live, along with Q Rich, a.k.a. Quentin Richardson, Chicago's finest, the Hall of Famer and two-time champion Isaiah Thomas. We just witnessed the Denver Nuggets make short work of the Portland Trailblazers. A lot of turnovers. The Joker comes up big in this one. Zeke, first word from you, your immediate response from seeing the Denver Nuggets advance to the second round.
You know, at the start, you asked who did we think would win, and I picked Denver to win this game. And the reason why is I just thought that offensively they were playing so well. I didn't think Portland could rise to the level of defense that you needed to win in this game tonight. And when you look at the numbers, I mean, Portland come in, they shoot 51% from the field, 44 from the three-point line, 85 from the free throw line. So you're talking about that kind of offense efficiency at home when you're trying not to lose and everything is on the line. I just don't think Portland's defense showed up tonight.
Defensively, we know that they haven't been great all season long. The last rated defense in the NBA during the regular season. However, a couple of things we were talking about, or I overheard you two talking about off camera. Quentin, you go to Denver, you expend all that energy. We know Dame had that huge game. However, when you come back just a couple of days later, that energy is not going to be the same, especially when it comes time, late in game situations, trying to knock down those jumpers.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, that we expected, or we knew that Dame was going to need a lot of assistance and a lot of help from his teammates because, like Zeke said, you know, he's a smaller guard, jump shooting guard, playing heavy minutes, and then hoisting up 12 of 17 threes, scoring 55 points and carrying that type of load. Coming back the next game, he needs that help and that assistance. And like you said, he needed it for the defense, and he needed some more offensive punch, and he didn't really get enough today.
And one thing I want to speak about is a point guard that wore number 11 for the Denver Nuggets. Monte Morris comes in. Zeke, you obviously know all about that number 11 in that point guard position. He was the X factor coming in. You know, we saw the runs. It was a 26-8 run in the second half, and then to close the game, they ended on a 23-9 run. Just talk about Monte and his performance coming off the bench, giving you 22 and 9.
I thought he was big, especially in the crucial parts of the game. When Jokic was out, and they needed scoring, he was able to knock down some crucial shots, two crucial ones, a three-point shot, and then he had one from the top of the key. Those 5 points I thought gave Denver like some really comfort in terms of their offensive push, and it just kind of opened up the game from there. I thought he was the key, though, in that little stretch.
He definitely was the key. Early on, the talk was about Michael Porter Jr. Didn't necessarily have the greatest second half, ended up going 0 for, but he came out strong. 22 points in the first quarter, set an NBA record with knocking down 6 3-pointers. Q, what was your assessment on his performance?
Steadily improving, man. He's a young star in the making. This kid can shoot, like really can shoot the ball. And I think what he did in that first quarter, he kept them in play and on pace to stay in this game, because had he not had that game, Portland could have made it a little more distance between them, and who knows what happens. But this kid came out and he made his impression felt right away.
Definitely made his impression felt. But for a second, the Denver Nuggets, while we are impressed with their victory, I got to chop it up about the Portland Trailblazers one time, because we know that this team, every single year, we know how hard they have to play towards the end of the season to somewhat tread water or maybe sneak into the playoffs. Zeke, your assessment on Portland overall as an organization, and what's the next step for this Portland Trailblazers team?
You know, I said this at the start of the season about Portland. Over the last 4 to 5 years, they kind of been stuck in this one position. And I felt that they needed something to kind of jolt them out, whether it was some type of change of personnel or coaching, but they needed something to kind of get them out of the rut. And where they are now is kind of where they've been the last 2 to 3 years. Now, here's the question is, can you continue to ride Dame and CJ, or do they still have a lot more juice left? I mean, it's like these last 4 to 5 years, and I was saying to Q, I feel like Dame has put has given us some of his best basketball, but he hasn't been able to advance and haven't been able to get to that big stage, and where all of us want to see him get to that big stage. And so where Portland goes from here, I'm not sure, because, right now they may be trending in the wrong direction, and that's kind of down.
It is trending down. 28-13 for Dame Lillard. They've been knocked out of the first round in 4 of the last 5 years. Now we'll go to Michael Malone. Let me say that properly in the postgame.
Hell of a team, division rival. I think Terry Stotts does a great job. What he's been able to do year in and year out with that squad, I think he deserves more credit than he gets. And what can you say about their backcourt? Those guys are fantastic. So, hell of a hard-fought series. A lot of
for the Blazers. I think the key, Mike, was when they were going on runs and we weren't playing our best, every huddle was positive, staying engaged, demanding guys to be better, but staying together. I think we've shown as a group, every time we hit adversity, most times, we never run from it. We buckle down, we embrace it, and we find a way. And so we weathered the storm, to your point. We weathered the storm. And then I thought that fourth quarter, to come in here and win a Game 6, an elimination game, which are always so hard, to hold them to 14 points in the fourth quarter, 28% from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. That's how you close out a game. And I thought Monte Morris late, Nikola Jokic late were phenomenal. Michael Porter early was terrific. And Aaron Gordon's corner 3 was a big, big shot. So I love our team. I love every player in our locker room, 1 through 17. We continue to find ways to win. Last year, this year, people don't realize that we're missing right now with injuries. So I couldn't be more proud of a group of players that I truly love coaching every single day.
Michael Spencer, CBS Denver.
Hey, Michael, you said before the game you didn't want to counterpunch. You wanted to punch. Obviously, you touched on MPJ's performance in the first quarter there. How important was that for him to kind of carry you guys in the first?
It was huge. He scored, I think, 22 in that first quarter. Nikola got in foul trouble, and I love seeing Michael so aggressive. If you're a Denver Nuggets fan, and I know we're a big group, we're all over the place. Here's a young man, 26 points, back-to-back games. He's only a second-year player. So Michael's only going to get better than he already is, which is a scary thought. So it was important for Michael to get off that start because he kind of kept us afloat. But that was a hard-fought game, and everybody that played contributed to it. And even the guys, I've said this a lot this series, Will Barton, P.J. Dozier, JaVale McGee, Jamal Murray, those guys, we have to give them a seatbelt. They're so excited and into it and passionate. That's why I love that group, because it's never about me. It's always about the group, the collective unit, and that's why we have a special culture.
Ashley Neville, Mile High Sports.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. So exciting. What was the key to stopping Damian Lillard in the fourth quarter? Went 1 for 6 and 5 points. And how important was it to not allow him to get off like he did in Game 5?
Yeah, obviously, Game 5, he was one of the best playoff performances anybody will ever see. He set a record for threes made in the game with 12. I did not see this play, Ashley, but a couple of my coaches said there was a play in the fourth quarter where Dame fell hard, and I believe he might have hit his head. Knowing Damian Lillard, knowing where he's from, watching him work out before him coming into the NBA, he's probably not going to use any excuses. That's not in his nature. That kid is a warrior, and I have the ultimate respect for him. But I think once he hit his head, he really wasn't the same after that. So, yeah, we did a good job, but I don't think he was right after falling down, hitting his head. But obviously he requires a tremendous amount of attention. We gave him the requisite amount of attention, and we were able to pull it out. I thought our fourth quarter offensive execution was terrific. We were poised. We were under control. Monte and Nikola Jokic playing that two-man game. Monte held a pass to Nikola rolling for the N1. It was just a high level of play on both ends. And I think, that's 3 years in a row we've advanced out of the first round, which I don't think has been done in Denver in quite a long time. So I can't wait to get home. I think next round they're going to allow more fans in the arena. So here's my message to Nuggets Nation. Come out, be loud, make Ball Arena the toughest place to play in the NBA. We need you.
Matt Moore, the Action Network.
Michael, Monte's been in the system the whole time, played in the G League.